today. She's remounted it with the amazing talent of Helen Basson, and enjoy the show.
Give me your voice, give me your voice. Don't close the door. Don't close your door. Oh shit! Oh, this is the last thing I needed. I got a flat tire. Oh. Oy. This shoe is thirsty. Oh, I'm gonna fix this frickin' shoe. Oh, we didn't start out on the right foot today, did we, Isabel? Hey, buddy? Hey, buddy. Yeah, you. You with the gray coat and the fancy hat. Did you see anybody else here? Hey, have you got something to help me fix my wheel? It's been giving me grief all day. Hey, you do? I bet you didn't even know you had this on you. The same thing happens to me. You know, I go to look for a smoke and I look everywhere and I find all kinds of things I lost months ago. But no smoke. Anyway, thanks, pal. You are the only nice guy I have met in a long time. Everybody else just run from me like I have some contagious disease. Am I shaking too much dust? I will stop immediately because breathing dust is hazardous to our health. What was I talking about? Oh, my shoe. Well, they don't make things like they used to. Cheap piece of crap. I better leave it now and I'll fix it at home. Why are you looking at me like that for? For your information, I do have a home. I just happen to forget where it is sometimes. Hello? Hello, sir. Hello, excuse me. Sir, do you have could you spare a loonie? Or a toonie? Have you got a smoke? I could really use a smoke. I haven't had a smoke for so long. Oh, come on. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. My home. Well, I don't really like being there. 'cause there ain't nothing shittier than being home alone. So I prefer to get out and walk. I like to see people on the streets. Women with their kids, and that guy that sells hot dogs at the corner. Trees, birds, anything that tells me you ain't dead yet. Even if your heart fell into a deep, dark hole where no one can turn the light back on again. Oh, yeah. Well, what are you saying? What? I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I should be used to it by now. Oh, brother, doesn't take 2 fingers of forehead to figure that out. But, can you keep a secret? I am still not used to wandering so low. Yeah, I know. Keep the drama for your mama. But seriously, loneliness is a really shitty thing. It's like a hungry dog following you wherever you go, nipping at your most vulnerable spots. And at night, it's even worse. It's like the voice of your worst enemy yelling at you from your own inside, and no matter how many times you make it shut up, it just doesn't go away. And yeah, I would understand if it was the bad things that drove you mad, but what I don't get is it's the beautiful things, the beautiful memories that I have, like when I had a family, and when I was young and pretty, and when people talked to me, and when a guy grabbed me and kissed me in the park. Yeah, it's all those things that just make me want. People say that you can go crazy from thinking too much. Well, I say, how can that be? Impossible. Because if I went crazy, who would be here waiting for Leo when he comes back? Leo? Oh, look at me spilling my guts to you like I've known you forever. And I haven't even introduced myself. Me llamo Isabel. I call myself Isabel. Nice to meet you. You can call me Isabel, or you can call me by my nickname, Charela. See, I like both. Isabel was my mother's name, too. And Charela is what Alito used to call me. He said, Isabel is for a queen, formal and proper. But Charela's for my beautiful princess. Charelita, Lupita, bonita banana. Oh, funny, right? Oh, I wish Leo was here. Now that I found you to talk to. And the truth, he would be jealous. But because you are the strong, silent type, I think the two of you would get along real good. Hey, do you want to know how I met Leo? Okay. Well, sit tight, because it's a very romantic love story. So, it was a Monday afternoon, middle of January, hot as hell, but pleasant. And I was sitting like this, in a park in Santiago. And I was eating bananas. When I saw him for the first time, he was so loaded. He was wobbling so much, he was almost walking backwards. And he was singing that tango volve, you know. Volve con la venta machita Santa. Oh. He told me later that he had just arrived from somewhere north. And because he didn't know anybody, he was drinking to forget. And I said, forget what? He said, forget that I was drinking for 2 days instead of looking for a job. And I said, why didn't you look for a job? He said, I'm too drunk. I don't remember. Anyway. He sees me and he says, excuse me, Mom, but could you be so kind and tell me where I am? I said, why, you sound kind of a screwball. You are right there. And he said, oh, you are so right. And then he smiled. And I knew in that moment that he was the one. I remember it like it was yesterday. Oh, very well then. Just one more thing. If I am right here, and you are right there, it occurred to me, well, maybe we can go for a thirst quencher. What do you think? After your lunch, of course. And at that moment, I felt like the sun was shining only on me. Holy crap, it felt so good. And because I had never loved anybody before, and no one had ever loved me, I felt so grateful all of a sudden. Alito didn't want me to tell him about my past. He said, when people meet for the first time, they are born again, and that nothing else matters, and that... Excuse me. Pardon me, sir. Oh, sir, it's a cold night. It's a very cold night. Do you have some, just some spare change? Do you have a loonie or a toonie? Do you have a 20? You got some smokes for me? Jesus, did you see that guy? I don't believe it for a minute. With that look, there's no way he didn't have smokes. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Alito. Well, you can imagine things got pretty serious. He even got me a dress, because he wanted to take me north to his town to meet his family and all. But I'm more of a tomboy, and I didn't want to put it on. He said, Janela, don't you see people are like that? If they don't love you like I love you, they are only going to judge you by your clothes. Maybe he was right. I don't know. What do you think? Lilo did get a job. He looked after parked cars and did other odd jobs during the day, and at night we would play cards and make a casserole with whatever we could and talk for hours. And Lilo could get very philosophical after a drink or two, or a few. Isabel, don't you know, we are working poor, and we cannot organize, and we have to fight for our freedom. We have to fight for our voice. And then sometimes, after we did it, oh, I would hold him in my arms so tight, and I would ask, dear God, please let this moment last forever. But I guess God was already asleep by then. The moment lasted until this guy came along and wanted to build a luxurious condominium to replace the low-income housing. Yeah, renovation. What a fuss. I didn't know what was going on. People going, people coming. Fill out the form, please, ma'am. Complete the form, ma'am. Do you understand me? Fill out the form. Am I speaking Chinese here? I understood what he was saying. I may be slow, but I'm not stupid. But brother, what could I complete? What could I fill out? Alido and I were not married, or single, or divorced. All I knew was that Alido loved me, and I loved him back, but we didn't have a piece of paper to say so. Complicated bullshit. And they wanted more papers. Ma'am, we have no record of you. We can't seem to find your history. What? How can I not have history? I have 500 years of history. I have a mother and a grandmother, and the shithead is telling me I have no history? Oh, well, brother, I know I am somebody. Because if I was nobody, how could I be talking to you right now? Maybe I was invisible. Well, I have more bones than meat. A little meat. Grade A. Oh, come on, I'm teasing you. Come on, you're supposed to laugh. Oh, you are a quiet one, but you are a good listener. I like that about you. Anita used to say, communication is vital for any relationship. Where are you? They took you away in the middle of the night. I couldn't even say goodbye. depressing you? Well, I hope not. No, it's not worth it to get depressed. You know, this, ask Cakehead. Oh yeah, Cakehead was a brother of mine, and he used to get depressed all the time. If he didn't have money for booze, or if a chick didn't love him back, he would put his head inside the oven. Well, that's why we called him Cakehead. Well, one day, Death got tired of waiting and false alarm. And no one turned the oven off. I think Cakehead was crazy, because he should have fallen in love with life instead, because life is beautiful and always has a way to work things out. Life, she continued. At least that's what my father said when my mother left this world to go to the heavens. Have you ever seen a man cry? They don't say anything. They don't complain. They just look, staring at something, until you see a tear dropping from their and then they laugh like nothing happened. But it's worse, because you can see the pain right inside their soul. I hope things worked out for my papa and his tierra. Yeah, that's where he went when he took off years ago and left me here. Mi tierra, my land. Well, at least he knew exactly where he was from, not like me. Y toda la tierra entera será un poco mi tierra. Before he left, my papa, he said, I don't belong here. I feel like crap. Mi tierra. Hey, you speak Spanish? No. Mi tierra. In English. Not even all the land of the world is a little of mi tierra. Wherever I go, I am a foreigner. My daily work, my stars, my windows, all turn to ashes overnight. I would like to be by my door, waiting for your arrival. But everything is left in Santiago. My beginning, and my end, and my dusk, and my dawn. He didn't belong to me. He said, I feel like crap. Yeah, I'm going to die for the cows. I prefer to die for the cows and stay here like an old fuck. I said, are you going to work on a farm, Papa? He says, no, Isabella. What do you mean? I said, but you said you're going to die for the cows. Oh, not those cows. I prefer to die for the cows. The C-A-U-S-E. The cows. And you see the problem with my papa is that he idealized his dad. And he got stuck thinking that everything was better there. Bread is tastier in Michiana. Oh, the weather is warmer in the tierra. People are friendlier in the tierra. Well, isn't that insane? I mean, come on, look at us. We've only known each other for, 20 minutes, and we're pretty good friends now. You see, my papa, he was full of shit. Because if he really believed it, he would have stayed here with me in Canada where he brought me. I believe it. Yeah, I do believe it. But life is funny. You see, today I came here to fix my shoe, and I met you, and I'm real grateful that I did. This morning, I woke up and I walked up the hill to a house, where they eat bagels and drink tea. I thought I could do some odd jobs. Maybe get a little food, some muda. And then Latina that answered the door. She made me work so hard. I scrubbed toilets, I washed floors and windows, but I didn't care. I thought of leftovers, and my mouth was drooling. And when I finished, Maria, she was making me a really nice doggy bag. And then her boss came in the kitchen. And she asked him for some money for me, It's fair. And he left. And then when he came back, he had a bottle of wine. And he said, here, come back next week and you can cut a lawn. And he handed me this. Cheap motherfucker. I couldn't help it. I started to cry. And he turned to Maria and he said, you see, Maria, people like this, they don't need money. All they need is a bottle of cheap wine to make them cry with joy. I was so upset, I just grabbed the bottle and I ran. And I forgot that doggy bag. And I was just almost blind with hunger. But I didn't care because I still had hope. And I hoped that I would meet someone who was patient and thoughtful, not judgmental at all. And here you are. And you haven't even complained once about me grabbing the microphone. So now I am going to shut up and do the same for you. So, come on. Your turn. Don't be shy. Anytime now. Oh, come on, there's no one around here. What is the matter with you? What's wrong with you? Aren't you my friend? Did you lend me your hammer and help me fix my wheel? Oh, come on, not you two. Please don't ignore me. Are you serious? Please, don't ignore me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Please, talk to me.